Це тоді закрити треба, так? Угу. Щось ніхто не хоче мене слухати. Добрий вечір. Так. So today I want to continue the match between Johannes Zuckertort and Wilhelm Steinitz. Queen h5, g6, where? Queen h5. Here queen h5. If here queen h5, yes, and g6 is possible. Ah, here. Here queen h5. Okay, here if queen h5 I can just take. Ah, here queen h5. Okay, here I cannot take, but yes, g6 is possible. Yes, g6 is good. So here, almost everybody playing. You mean bishop e7, bishop d3, castle, queen h5, g6. Okay, after bishop d3, black can take first. And now castle, and now queen h5, g6. Without castling, without taking queen h5, g6, knight take g6. Necessary to consider. Only question how dangerous it is. For example, this. So white has perpetual check, of course, but it's question if white has something more. Don't know, maybe not. Rook e3. Well, but I don't think that white has winning chances here. If rook h3, bishop h4. Hello. White has no a lot of resources. If b3, for example, d5, black is prepared for d4. So it looks like black can allow this if they agreed to draw. But b3 maybe immediately, however, with idea if bishop rook f6. Yes, rook f6 is two. Rook takes e7 is unpleasant threat now. Okay, so b3. Or how to defend? If bishop f6, rook e3. Sorry, pleasant somehow. Situations. So b3 probably it's problem. But okay, if b3, black can play knight f5. It looks enough. Because if bishop b2, bishop f6. And if rook e8, black can just take on b2. And white has nothing. So after knight f5, looks like black is ready for d5, d4. So I don't see how white can play for a win after this sacrifice. So draw is possible, but well, of course, yes, knight f5 is very standard because black wants to free d pawn and develop his bishop c8. Of course, after castle, white can try also rook c3, knight c3. Okay, knight takes e5 is possible. Also, probably after queen h5 here, h6 is possible. I don't know. Maybe this is dangerous, maybe not. Knight g4 is possible to consider, but if knight g4, black has knight b4. And probably white attack is not so strong. If knight c3, black also can consider knight b4 with idea to exchange the bishop. Because, okay, so modern players usually not hurry. So they are playing bishop e7. If bishop d3, okay, it's possible to play castle. If knight c3, okay, it's possible to take, but maybe also possible to play rook e8. I don't know. Now queen h5. Okay, now g6 probably it's more dangerous than before because black has no resource. Knight f5. Okay, I don't know, so probably it can be more dangerous. White always has perpetual check. But can try probably b3, something like this. Or knight d5. Start. Anyway, I'm not pretty sure because bishop f6 is possible. Maybe black can hold this as well. Well, but he took. Immediately rook takes e5, bishop e7, knight c3. Okay, usually modern players playing bishop f1, castle, d4, this type of position. Bishop f6, rook e1, rook e8, for example. Okay, so knight c3, castle, bishop d3. Now in game 6, Zuckertort played bishop f6. In next game, he played c6 here. Also looks very logical, knight e8. Rook e8 is possible as well to prepare bishop f8. Rook e8, knight c3. Not knight c3, but bishop f4 firstly. Modern line. Rook takes, queen takes, knight e8, knight c3. Knight e8 is forced because this is bad positionally. And if knight f5, bishop takes c7. Strong. So knight f5 is obvious mistake. So knight e8, knight c3. Okay, c3 d5 is drawish line. And if knight c3, bishop takes d4, knight d5, d6, bishop g5, f6. This is critical position, and now white has choice between bishop e3 or bishop h4. I played bishop e3 against Luka Lenic and won, but black defense is possible to be improved. 11, knight c3. Knight c3 is more dangerous, but why is more dangerous? If I just take and take, I don't know, probably white has compensation, but how? Knight d5 or what do you want? Bishop f4 now. Okay, but bishop f4 is same position. Knight e8, knight d5, d6, bishop g5. Yes, okay, knight d5, d6, bishop g5, f6, and now white has choice. Okay, so let's see. Knight c3, castle. Castle is necessary because if takes the bishop, of course, knight d5 is pretty unpleasant. So black cannot allow this. So castle. Bishop d3, but now black has choice. So knight e8 is possible, rook e8 is possible, c6 is possible. But in game 6, Johannes Zuckertort played bishop f6. Rook e3 important move because now white has direct threat, so black has no time for c6. Logical move to prevent knight d5, but unfortunately bishop takes h7. With h5 check and rook h3. And white is winning here. Only move bishop h4, rook takes h4, f6, but white can enjoy this attack, decisive attack, and also with pawn up. So c6 is big blunder here. So bishop f6 is not precise move at all because allow rook e3 with idea bishop takes h7. Also with idea knight d5, for example. After rook e8, yes, c6. And Zuckertort in next game also played c6. Rook e8 is possible now, but Now bishop h7 doesn't work because after queen h5 and rook h3, rook e1 is coming, mate. So this motif doesn't work, of course. But the problem for black that knight d5 is coming. This is not so pleasant for black. So Zuckertort played g6. Now b3 played Steinitz. Logical move. Also knight d5 was possible to consider, of course. Bishop g7, white can play even knight e7 and have two bishops advantage. Or just play b3. Oh, sorry, b3. b3 not possible. Rook is hanging. Maybe possible, I don't know. Looks like some kind of craziness, and then bishop h3. But okay. Okay, but Steinitz played immediately b3. He wants to play bishop a3, rook e8. So now black has some problem. For example, if knight e8, bishop a3, if d6, knight d5 is possible. And white has some kind of attack, maybe not so dangerous. Maybe black can play bishop g7 and try to hold it, but it's unpleasant. So rook e8, he played queen f3. Bishop a3 was possible alternative, of course. For example, takes, knight e8, queen f3, and rook f1 is coming. So. Okay, here also knight d5 is strong, because if bishop takes a1, bishop e7. Okay, but Steinitz played queen f3, so he wants to play bishop a3 in beta moment. And black still in trouble because his knight still on d6, and so it's not possible to develop pieces comfortably. Bishop g5, this, bishop b2. Of course, after bishop g5, white could consider simply bishop b2, because bishop takes e3, it's hardly threat. After f takes e3, white has very strong attack. So bishop b2, I think, was stronger than what he took. c6. Now black is ready to play d5 somehow and consolidate his position. Is it everything okay with stream? Can you hear and see me well? Okay, so knight e4, bishop e7. Queen e4, d5, queen d4, f6. So what we can see is that after bad opening, black consolidated his position somehow. But still white has some initiative. So knight g3, played Steinitz, bishop e6. About bishop e6 I'm not sure. For me, knight e6, knight g7 seems more natural, this idea to play knight e6. Or just flexible move, bishop d7. This idea to play knight e6 next move. So I have feelings that black has good defensive resources in this position. Okay, bishop e6, knight g7. this is a little bit strange for me because I have feelings that e6 is square for knight, not for bishop. h4. Wilhelm Steinitz continues his attack. After knight e6, here, okay, knight g7, h4 immediately. But okay, if h4, knight e6, how you will attack me? Queen g4, with the idea if knight c5, bishop f5. Yes, white has some pressure. I agree. Bishop takes g6 even can be threat in some variation. Knight c5, bishop f5. But maybe black can hold this position. d7. What white can do. But okay, still tricky. Rook e1, my plan. But rook e1, I can play bishop f8, I think. Okay, but knight e3. Knight e3, rook e8. Yes, I have seen this idea, knight takes e7, queen e7, bishop a3, but now black has queen e6. It looks like enough to hold the position. d4, which moment d4? In which moment d4? Yes, d4, queen takes f5, yes. So probably black can hold this position, although it's still tricky. For example, if takes, h5, maybe king f7. But now queen h3. And if now king g7, queen is protected, and bishop a3, queen e5 is possible. But sorry, after queen e5, d4 is winning. Queen takes d4, c3, and white wins a piece. Okay, so knight g7, in my opinion, was stronger. But still, white has initiating. h4 or rook e1, also possible, the same idea. If knight e6, queen g4. If knight c5, bishop f5. But maybe this is less dangerous because black can take and play bishop f8, and now they are prepared to play queen d7 somehow. So maybe h4 is stronger. Добрий вечір. So knight c5, bishop f5. This. Because now if bishop f8, h5 is possible. So queen d7, takes, h5. Still not so easy. This with the idea if bishop a3, queen d7. But if queen d7, white can take and rook e1 somehow. So still not easy. About Abdusadorov, I don't know him well. Okay, I know that he's playing well in Vaikanzei, but difficult to tell something concrete about him. Queen d4, in which moment queen d4? Here queen d4. Here queen d4, 96. Okay, but take and rook e1, it's very unpleasant because rook will go to e7. So still not so easy. Yes, after h4, I can admit that position. Okay, but maybe why queen d7, not queen e6? Okay, let's check. King gives queen e6. Queen e6, yes, it's possible, but I was afraid something like queen g3 and queen c7, I was afraid. Or queen f4 and queen c7. Queen b4 also, it's idea b6, d4 and rook e1, so it's also idea. But queen f4. Okay, but I can try to improve defense. After bishop f5, maybe king f7 is more precise here, because now h5 is stopped and I have threat to take the bishop. So maybe this is the best defense. Bishop c8, queen takes c8, and black is very close to equalize. Maybe king f7 is stronger. Queen e3 instead of queen g4. Queen e3 is also possible. Bishop c5, queen h6. Yes, I agree. Yes, not so easy. If d4, queen f3 and bishop c4 coming, yes. So not so easy to defend. I agree. Knight c5 maybe. Not okay, even bishop f1. Sorry. And rook e1 is coming. So if bishop d6, rook e1, and if f5, even this is possible. White has very strong attack, so still not so easy to defend. Okay, but he played bishop e6. Let's come back. Knight g7. Probably here h4 was possible as well. Rook e1, knight g7, h4, queen d7, h5, bishop f7, h takes g6. Zuckertort took with bishop because if take with pawn, queen h4, probably he was afraid. And if rook e8, for example, queen h6. But this is not convincing because bishop f8 is possible. At least black is not losing by force. Maybe still unpleasant position, however, rook f8, yes, rook e1, knight, rook e8, knight e8, but maybe just rook f1 and how to defend. Knight h5 not possible because knight takes h5. If knight e6, knight h5 as well. Also, this is not so clear for me. This, and knight e5. My idea was if knight f6, bishop g7, but knight e5 is good. Okay, so he's under very dangerous attack after queen h4. Okay, queen h6, bishop f8, rook f1. Bad news for black. But maybe f5 is possible. Yes, f5 is possible. Okay, so take, of course, white has other ideas. Knight e4, for example, is possible. It's like pretty unpleasant. For example, if queen e6, even this can be considered. It looks like white is totally winning. So white could play this also here. Here black can take on h5, so h takes g. And now knight e4, yes. So if knight e8, okay, white can do many things. So knight c5 is possible, also knight g5, very unpleasant, because queen h4 is threat. So black is in big trouble. Knight e4 is strong. Okay, so Zuckertort took with bishop, at least. He is not losing immediately. But now structure is bad. So queen e3, king f7. I'm not sure about king f7 in this moment. Probably rook e8 was more precise. And only after queen h6 to play king f7. Of course, queen h6 is not necessary. I can do something else. Queen f3, for example. White is better, only question how much better. But also after rook e8, white can take on a7 immediately, or after bishop takes here. White has pawn up, maybe without sufficient, or immediately take on a7. Thanks for subscription. Because bishop d3, c takes d3, still black has weakness on king's flank. Okay, so king f7, queen f4. Still bad position for black because white has bad structure and their pieces are more active. Rook e3. Now knight e6. Knight e6 maybe not the best, but if bishop d8, white can try play this probably. And to win the pawn. But okay, black can give the pawn and have some compensation like this. Knight e6. Not enough, probably. Okay, so knight e6, queen g4, knight f8 he played. Because if knight c5, bishop f5 is very unpleasant. Also knight f5 is possible, because obviously black cannot take, knight h6 check. So knight f8, very bad position already. Knight f5 played Steinitz. Also bishop f5 looks like very strong. He played knight f5. Repeat the move several times and took on g6. So black cannot take the bishop because queen takes d7 and rook takes e8. So queen takes g4 is only move. Knight takes g4, rook takes e3 is only move. Knight takes f6. So black defended against attack, but they lost the pawn. So white has good winning chances in endgame. Bishop b4 he played. Maybe h5 was best solution here. Idea to attack knight, to provoke g4. After g4 black can exchange pawns and they have simply winning. I'm not sure is it so simple. Especially if white is forced to exchange pawns. Also question for me, maybe d takes e3 was stronger. This pawn structure. But okay, it's not obvious, so it was now h5, g4. Now white has f-pawn. Knight e8. Okay, knight e8's strange somehow, but maybe possible. If knight e6, you want to play bishop e5. Knight e6, bishop e5, and knight d6 is coming. But okay, maybe black can play this. If knight g7, go back, so white knight is strange a little bit, but from other point of view, who can threat to this knight? White can just play this. Okay, in the game we have another position. So knight e8. Okay, but also this is possible. Because if bishop e5, king f7, not allow knight d6. So black can fight, of course, it's bad position. Yeah, knight e6, bishop e5. Knight is not trapped yet, although black has contraplay, probably with d4 somehow. Don't know if it's serious or not. Okay, king f2. Okay, but Zuckertort played bishop b4. Bishop b4, not so logical in my opinion. So h5 was more stubborn. d3, knight e6, king f2, h5, g4. And now h4. h4 is very strange choice. Practically, black should exchange and try to hold this. Okay, bad position, but c4, for example, is possible immediately or after king e2. Okay, but he played g4 probably. Of course, he wasn't happy with position, so he wants to realize some tricks with h pawn probably. But if it's serious, king g5, king f3 is coming with threat bishop f6. And another threat knight f4. So bishop d6 he played, king g2. White is ready to play king h3. If knight g5, knight f4 is coming. So the black pawn h4 easily can be extra weakness. c5, bishop f6. Pawn is attacked. King h3. So white has many ideas. For example, if d4, white can take, and knight g7, and knight f5 is coming, it's winning. So bishop e5, but now knight f4. Black cannot take, so d4 is only moved, knight e6, knight c5. White has too many extra pawns, so knight b4 check. He utilized that king c3 is impossible because of fork. a5, knight d5. Okay, so Wilhelm Steinitz won this game because of better opening preparation. So black was suffering from the opening. Okay, now game. So score is 4-2 in favor of Zuckertort. And now we will see I'm not sure that this was game 7, who knows? Was it game 7? So, today, uh this game 7 or this game 9? I don't know. If somebody can check it, which game was 7 and which game was 9. So, in one game was knight f3, and other game e3. E3 is game 7. Okay, so e3. c5, knight f3, knight c6. Classical position. Also possible to go to queen's gambit accepted like this way, but knight c6, a3. White has choice. Also possible takes, bishop b5. Very popular line now, or bishop e2. a3 is also possible. a3 was played in Petrosian Fischer match in Buenos Aires. Robert Fischer played knight e4 here against Tigran Petrosian and won. Okay, it doesn't mean that knight e4 is the strongest, but it's also possible to take, and a6 to prepare b5. It was my game against Gata Kamsky. So Steinitz took on c4, but now a6 is main move. According to theory, he took on d4. Bishop e3. Okay, bishop e3 is not the best. It's possible, but more natural looks rook e1 to prepare d5. If b6, for example, d5 is possible. This type of position is not so pleasant for black. Bishop f4 and rook c1 is coming. So typical position with isolated pawn. White has many plans. Another possible plan is queen d3, b6, bishop g5, bishop b7, rook a d1, and then bishop a2, rook fe1, something like this. But I like rook e1 here. So if compare with Panov attack in Caro-Kann, we can see this position. e4, c6, d4, d5, takes, c4, knight f6, knight c3, e6, takes, this, bishop c4, knight c6, castle, rook e1. Yes. And instead of knight f6, Lembit all played bishop f6. Bishop f6 is the main move according to modern theory. But after knight f6, a3, we have same position. Bishop e3 is possible, but it's not the most active move here. So it depends, however, what white wants. So my choice would be rook e1. This b6 allow d5. Lagging now. Problem with stream, right? Hello. What about now? Is it okay? Now looks okay. So b6, d5 is possible. Knight a5. Slightly better for white. Nothing special. Black should hold the position. Okay, bishop d7. Queen d3 played Zuckertort. Very logical and very standard plan here is knight e5 to prepare f4. So mainly if white put bishop on e3, they try to play knight e5 and f4 and probably f5 in future. If rook c8, bishop a2. And white is prepared for f4. Okay, but queen d3. So he mixed plans a little bit. So if queen on d3, it's more logical to have bishop on g5. Not on e3. Okay, rook c8, queen a5. So he's trying to utilize that rook on c1 and b4 doesn't work because pawn is hanging. And again, white has choice what to do. Of course, rook ac1 wasn't necessary, so this white can play rook fd1 start. So white has choice. Even b4 is probably possible to consider. Although before I'm not sure because queen c7. This threat knight takes b4. And not so easy to understand what white can do against this threat. Okay, so b4 is bad, just in this position. Yes, my idea was to prevent knight a5 and, for example, if rook e1, knight a5 may be even possible, and bishop c6. Also, knight e5 takes, bishop b1, g6, bishop h6, rook e8, queen f3, something like this, bishop f6, bishop e4, bishop e4. Something like this. So, okay, yeah, b4 is not. But rook e1 or rook d1 was possible. Okay, he played this, and now pawn a3 is unprotected. Steinitz trying to utilize it. So he played queen a5. Now Zuckertort played bishop e2. d5, of course, was totally possible to simplify the position. So black has no special choice. So e takes d5, knight takes d5. Knight takes d5. Bishop takes d5. And now white has a pleasant version of this symmetric structure because b4 now is threat. Utilize bad position of queen on a5. And for example, if bishop g4, b4, queen a4, bishop b3, it's possible. And this is losing. So, quite unpleasant position in my opinion for black, and white is playing without any risk. Rook fd8 maybe, but anyway before my idea was If queen b3, bishop e8, black can defend somehow. Also, even here after rook fd1, white has a more pleasant position. But before, again, if queen a4, bishop b3. Black is just losing, because if bishop e6, queen takes d8. So I don't see nothing good here after d5. So probably queen a5 objectively was bad move. So maybe black should play something else. I don't know what exactly. It's not so easy because bishop on d7 is uncomfortable. So more comfortable for black to have bishop on b7, of course. But now white has easy plan, bishop a2, and of course white could start with bishop a2 here. After this was possible to prepare. But like in the game, rook c1, if queen a5, objectively I think bad move. Rook ac1, queen a5, yes, because after d5, black is in big trouble. Also, I want to attract attention that not only before, but bishop takes f7 is threat at the moment. So I don't see what black can do to avoid some material losses even. Good evening. Yes, it's bad for black. White has two very unpleasant threats. Bishop takes f7 or b4. If queen c7, for example, yes, he played queen a5 and Zuckertort didn't play d5. Queen c7 maybe, but okay, it's maybe even bishop a7 possible to consider. If b6, knight d4. And I don't see anything good for black here. If queen takes a7, I will not take with knight because, okay, opposite bishops. But I can take with bishop, with threat knight b5. Of course, white has many moves like rook fd1 or knight g5, so, or b4, so white is surely better, or knight d4. So it's bad position. But Zuckertort missed this chance. He played bishop a2 calmly. I don't know why. Because d5 looks very obvious and very concrete. So bishop. Now rook fd8. Now black is defended against d5. Now d5 is not strong anymore. It's enough only for draw. White should take with queen now. Because after bishop d5, bishop e6. White is in trouble. Probably not losing, but okay. It's obviously not what white wants. But so if white wants draw, it's better to take this queen. But also after d5 now bishop e8 is possible. I'm not sure how strong it after rook d1, but okay. But of course d5 not so strong with rook on d8 like with rook on f8. Rook e1, bishop e8. So Wilhelm Steinitz finished his regrouping of pieces, and now he has quite comfortable game. All pieces are good. Okay, let's see. Bishop b1, g6. g6 is important to defend against this standard threat. So g6, prophylactic move. So it's also, I want to show you this position from Panov attack. Bishop b7, bishop a6 is another line, but bishop b7, queen d3. Now black should play g6 immediately. Because if, for example, rook c8, d5, and bishop g5. And if g6, rook takes e7. White is winning. Black should give the queen, but white should win this position. So g6 is only moved. Rook c8 is mistake already. Or rook e8 is mistake because of the same reason. So after g6, the theory is bishop h6, okay, d1. Well, so let's come back to our game. g6 he played, prophylactic move, queen e4, queen e2. He played bishop f8. It's possible, but I'm not sure that this is the best move. Black has choice. Knight d5, for example, looks quite logical decision. Okay, bishop f8, rook d1, bishop g7, bishop a2, knight e7. So very good play. So black is ready to play knight d5. Also bishop c6 and bishop d5. It's possible plan. Queen d2, queen a6. Queen a6. Idea to avoid knight d5 trick. And bishop g5, knight f5. Now g4. G4 looks like some kind of desperation. But what to play? However, Not so easy for white, because black has pressure against d4 pawn. Maybe queen e1, but always black has h6. Okay, if h6, white can try takes, and d5. Right. Simplified position with chances for draw. And if bishop c6, maybe bishop takes e6 works. I'm not pretty sure about this, but maybe. This was my idea. If rook e8, I can take here. It's not good, so maybe queen e1. And white wants to play knight e4, for example. If queen b6, I have knight e4 idea. Question how strong it is, however, because black can take with rook, and take on b2, and then takes on e3. But rook c2 is possible. If queen takes a3, queen takes b7. And fortunately for white, after bishop a4, queen takes a7 is possible. So probably queen e1 was strong. And white has chances to survive. Okay, but he played g4. g4 looks like bad move. Knight takes d4. Probably he missed this trick, I don't know. Probably he expected this. But also this looks like promising for black. But okay, now queen g5. If knight f6, knight e4 is coming. Probably he expected this. Okay, at the moment I need 5 minutes break. 10 minutes break. Interesting. Згорнути 4, але я вже щось натиснув і там вискочило 6.
Що прочитали, то що пише?
Hide hints.
Ні.
Що?
Не hide. Cancel.
Cancel, так. Ага, і то 4 згорнути, так? Що? Тут? Тут? Ага. Break tendons. Okay, I am here. Can you hear me and see me? Can you hear me and see me? Okay. So g4 he played, probably queen e1 was better. Maybe d5 immediately is possible to consider as well. But d5, he takes d5. If knight takes d5, probably knight e4 is coming. Also, I am not sure, for example, white can take and take here. What's this? Takes queen e2. It's very promising for black. Okay. What else? Maybe this. Okay, maybe knight e4 is strong. Now rook takes c3. However, white has chances. This, and this. Maybe situation is not so. Okay, after bishop d5, black can do something else. For example, h6 is quite natural. Okay, queen e1 probably was the most solid. g4 he played, knight takes d4, e5. Now game is opened and g4 is obvious weakness of white's position. Okay, time to calculate variation. If bishop g5, bishop takes f6, I think rook takes d4 is strong. Looks like. And this is a serious problem for white. Maybe. Also rook takes g4. So, yes. So knight d4 with g4 is possible. So knight d5 he played, rook takes c1. Queen takes c1. So material is equal, but white has some weakness, especially g4 is weakness. So Steinitz played h6. Queen e2. Knight e7 check is the question. It's possible, but what is idea? Okay, black has choice, king f8 or king h8. It's obvious. Okay, for example, king h8. Safer choice. White needs to take, he takes d4. Black has pawn up. Queen takes rook, he takes d4. Queen c7, rook d7. Queen e5. Also queen e2 is possible. Pretty unpleasant for white because d1 and g4 is hanging. Okay, let's see what happened in the game. So queen e2. h3, h6. h6 strange for me. Looks like black should just take the pawn because queen c8 is not threat for black. Queen c8, queen d1 check. And here black can simply take king g7. And black has pawn up. And excellent chances for win. If bishop e7, h6 simply. And black has good winning chances. Or bishop e5, of course. And now h6. So bishop takes b2 was quite strong here. He played h6, strange move somehow. And now bishop c4, very strange move. I don't understand why not bishop e3. Looks like totally enough for draw. So bishop takes b2, what else? Now white has choice. This is a good idea, I think, because queen takes g6 is threat. So queen c8, queen d1 check. This is still unpleasant somehow. King h7 or king g7. Because if bishop takes a7, black can take on a3. But queen b1 is good. Queen b1, now queen takes g6 is threat, and black should defend somehow. For example, king h7, and now it looks like drawish. White can take somewhere on a7 or on b7. It should be draw. Also queen e4 is possible. Okay, queen e4 is not special threat because after queen takes e8, queen d1 check is coming, but okay, so this is possible. Even this creative idea, opposite bishops, white has excellent chances for draw also. It's tricky maybe, because black has idea queen f4, queen d5. Okay, it's tricky, but bishop takes b7, it should be drawn. So h6 is mistake. So bishop takes b2 was simple and strong. But bishop c4 looks like terrible because bishop left a very important diagonal. Probably it was some kind of time trouble, I don't know. Now after queen f3, it's catastrophe. Bishop c6 is coming. Bishop f4 instead. No. It was bishop c4. Bishop f4 was better, but bishop e3 more natural to defend, to break connection between queen and bishop. And looks like enough for draw. Now bishop c4, queen f3. Bishop cannot go because bishop c6 is coming, so queen e3 only move, but it doesn't help. Bishop c6, bishop e7 he played, bishop takes h6. Not allowed because black can just take. King h2, queen g2 mate, this. Black wins the queens. Bishop e7, bishop e5, last trick. f4, because this. And black wins. Доброго вечора. So he resigned because same reason. So king h4 only move and black win. So after this game, Steinitz won and score is 4-3 already. And Steinitz has white again. So again Spanish, but Zuckertort played okay, so now we are considered 6, 7, now 8. So in game 8 was knight takes e5 or was bishop e7? Can somebody check it? So which move? Bishop e7, okay. So bishop e7, bishop d3 again. Okay, bishop f1 is the main move now, and black has 3 options. Castle is possible, knight f5 is possible, or knight takes e5 is possible. Okay, so, but bishop d3, castle, queen h5. So, no. Queen h5, he played f5. So, he didn't play g6. It must be game 7. It must be game 8, sorry. Game 8. From the match, World Championship match. No, 7, in game 7, Steinitz was black. So in game 6, Steinitz was white and won in Berlin. So in game 7, Steinitz was black and won in Queen's gambit accepted, and now yes, so now g6 is totally possible as we are considered. So we didn't find anything better for white than draw. So draw is possible for white, but I mean after sacrifice. If not sacrifice, I don't see any idea of to play queen h5. So g6 was totally possible. I don't know why Zuckertort didn't play it. Probably he played for win, or probably he afraid something. Difficult to say. Also, I mentioned that h6 is possible. This idea night before. So instead of g6, he played f5. Knight c3. Knight takes e5. Another interesting option here is knight b4. Idea to exchange the bishop, although knight on e5 is strong. Like play b3, for example, to prepare bishop ea3 or bishop b2. So he took. Rook takes e5. g6, queen f3. c6, b3, knight f7. Black is doing everything very logical, but okay, it's question if white has some other ideas. Knight f3 is possible, but after knight f3, knight b4 necessary to be considered. I don't know, however, what is this, because knight d5 is coming, if c6, b3. Okay, maybe knight f7, queen takes f5, d5, and black has enough compensation. Also knight g5 is possible. Okay, so knight c3 is natural. Knight e5, rook e5, g6. Queen f3. Maybe queen e2 was idea. I'm attacking the bishop, so bishop f6 looks like natural, and knight d5. Takes. Why not? Important that black has no rook e8, because knight f6, and it's not mate. Of course, bishop g7 is possible. Okay, bishop g7, white can consider something like b3, for example. Because now b3, bishop b2 is unpleasant threat. Not so easy to understand what black should do. Probably queen e8. Idea if knight f6 takes, check. Bishop f1, queen takes f2, knight e4 check, and knight takes f6. Or probably queen e8. Knight e7 check, king f7. It's nothing. Queen d4. So, and still, white threats are pretty unpleasant. b3, bishop b2 is coming. So queen e2 was very concrete try. Of course, it's a little bit risky because this sacrifice of exchange, but very principled. So Steinitz played without ambitious, and now black solved successfully all of his problem. Probably they have even slightly better position. Bishop d7 was possible, simply not allow exchange of rook. Probably Steinitz planned to play knight a4, but this position looks like slightly better for black already. Okay, maybe nothing special, but there is some disharmony between white pieces. Queen d6, rook e8. So now white can exchange pieces. Draw. Still slightly better for black, in my opinion, because strange knight on b2, or for example, knight e6. Okay, nothing special. Queen e1, bishop f7. But was possible to play. Okay, but they agreed to draw. So it was game 8, now game 9. Zuckertort white again. So d4, d4. So knight f3 now instead of e3. D takes c4, Vienna variation, e3. More ambitious is e4, and now black has choice between bishop d4, bishop takes c4 castle, or bishop g5, c5. Another popular variation now is b5, e5, knight d5, knight b5, knight b6. Many games. Okay, e3, c5, bishop c4. Usually now black is not hurried to take on d4. They are playing a6, preparing b5, if a4, knight c6. But okay, it's modern series, so took. So Steinitz likes to play against isolated pawn. Queen e2 played Zuckertort. Not necessary, as I explained, rook e1 is a good move to prepare d5. If knight c6, a3, b6, queen d3, bishop a2. But okay, so queen e2 he played. Looks like he wants to play rook d1 and d5. But now, yeah, d5 is possible, yes. But in this position, black should equalize, I think. Because after bishop e3, bishop f6 is coming. Okay, anyway, white can try something like this. It's drawish, but white is slightly better. So d5 is possible, rook e1 is possible. Queen e2 is normal move as well. Knight bd7, bishop b3. Also d5 was possible now. E takes d5, now this. And white has more pleasant position. Knight b6 or knight f6, just bishop b3, rook d1 is coming. Symmetrical pawn structure, but white pieces are more active, so d5 was reasonable choice. Or same if knight b6, bishop b3 again. Rook d1 is coming. Bishop b3, knight b6. Bishop f4, bishop. Okay, bishop f4, I'm not so sure is it good idea. In my opinion, the best square for bishop is g5. So bishop g5. If knight fd5, even h4 is possible. So, okay, h6, bishop h4, and later queen d3, bishop c2 can be problem because to play g6 after h6 is not so attractive for black. So, in my opinion, after bishop g5, black should play knight fd5 or probably bishop d7 with idea bishop c6. If this, of course, doesn't work, I don't know, queen f8. So it's always necessary to check, but probably it's acceptable for black just in this position. Rook d1, now, for example, this. It's quite standard methods. But okay, Zuckertort played bishop f4, knight bd5. Okay, so because black wants to play knight d5, so it's a little bit strange. Provoke with bishop f4. So if not bishop g5, very logical rook e1 to prevent bishop d7, because after bishop d7, d5 is coming. So if, for example, knight bd5, now bishop g5, white has pressure. b6 not possible, bishop d7 not possible, and white has many active plans. For example, rook a d1, knight e5, rook d3, rook h3 later. So bishop f4 is strange move. Knight d5, bishop g3. Instead of knight d5, of course, bishop d7 was possible because white didn't play rook e1, and now d5 doesn't work. Okay, so bishop g3, queen a5. Okay, so Steinitz liked this plan, queen a5, rook d8, bishop d7, bishop e8, but I'm not sure that this is really best plan. So b6 is logical alternative and to prepare bishop b7. Okay, queen a5 he played, rook ac1. Maybe white can ignore knight takes c3. Maybe, for example, rook fe1 is possible because hard to believe that this is good. Or rook a d1. So I think knight c3, queen c3 is not real threat. But okay, so rook a c1 he played, knight e5 he played, rook f d8. Another standard position. Black is prepared to play bishop e8 and to have more or less same like in previous black game. Bishop h4, but white has active pieces. Now they want to win pawn, knight d5, bishop e7, queen b7, something like this. So black should protect, could protect. For example, rook c7 was possible. But Steinitz decided to change type of position. Now, instead of isolated pawn, we have hanging pawn on the board. So black piece is situated very solid. Somewhere rook takes d4 can be threat. I don't know how it works. Okay, but for example, if white doing some stupid move, okay, black can consider such idea. So white should open the window immediately, and rook takes d1 and rook takes d4. It looks like quite promising for black. But okay, queen e2 is very strange move, of course. Normal move was h3, in my opinion, to open. Or another logical idea is bishop g3 with threat knight takes f7. So after bishop d6, white can play bishop h4 and make draw. Also possible to play c4 to prepare c5. If b6, c5 anyway. This because if bishop c5, knight takes f7 is coming. Like this. g4, in move 9, g4 with idea g5. Okay, but g5 is not threat. So g4, black can just ignore it. Like b5, and if g5, knight d5. So I don't think that this is such a... After g5, even knight d7 is possible. This idea to exchange knights. So g4, it's not in some, but bishop g3, it's in spirit of position, of course. And after more or less forced bishop d6, c4 is okay. Probably queen b6 is more precise, not allow c4. And if rook b1, queen a6, something like this. Maybe this is more precise. But okay, Zuckertort played queen d3. It's a really strange move. Because queen on f3 is surely better than on d3. So queen d3 he played. What is idea? He wanted to prepare c4 or what? Difficult to understand. What exactly was his idea? But queen d3 looks strange move. Knight d5, very natural. So black wants to exchange several pieces and try to attack hand in pots. Okay, so this, and bishop takes d5. Bishop takes d5 looks like positional mistake. Normal move is c4 here, and queen e3 after, or queen c3. Okay, depends where knight will go. For example, here queen e3. Play this position. Okay, white is not better here, but position is playable. Bishop takes d5. Before bishop takes d5, bishop c2. There is question. It's possible, but what we'll do after g6. Bishop b2 back, bishop b3 back, or what? Okay, maybe, but is it so good for white to provoke g6? I don't know. So if bishop or if white doesn't want to play c4, probably more reasonable to play something like h3, just waiting move. Interesting. Uh, I want to explain that, for example, if white plays h3 now, waiting move, black cannot do same regrouping of pieces, because if here queen takes c7, better to take with knight. White has this idea. And white wins exchange. Of course, better to take with knight. Avoid this. Queen takes e7 is tactical mistakes, but white can also start with this. After bishop h4, bishop b7 to win the pawn. So after h3, black should play probably something 8. Okay, b5 maybe. That's possible. To prepare queen b6. Stop c4. Okay, but bishop takes d5 was bad. Rook takes d5. Now rook is not attacked. Queen is not on f3. If queen on f3, knight g6 is winning. c4 white plays. Black is solid. White played c4. Okay, not necessary. Probably queen e3 was more accurate, something like this, or queen g3 to prepare h4. Keep this formation, c3, d4. But anyway, only black can be bad. c4 now hanging pawns is really hanging. Queen d6, f6. Okay, white still can try defend knight f3, but it's unpleasant somehow. Bishop h5 is, but nothing very terrible. So probably white can hold this position yet. At least I don't see anything forcing. But no, for example, queen b4 is possible. It's already quite unpleasant to play because bishop is much stronger than knight in this position. But instead of defense, Zuckertort decided to attack, but this attack is totally desperated. No attack anymore. Bishop a4, rook f3 he played. Now white has some problem with first rank, so now b5 is coming. Also now b5 was possible, but now probably rook takes f6. Black need to follow. I don't know if it works, however. Maybe it's not enough. Because for example, this, d5, king c7. Okay, but Steinitz decided to play bishop c6. So he provoked rook takes f6, but with bishop on c6. So again, this was possible, but if knight f5. If knight f5, e takes e5 and bishop e4. So if b5, white can play this. So now knight f5 After queen g6. Yes, it's also possible. Agree. Knight g4 is threat. Not only rook takes f6. Yes, you are right. But okay, b takes b takes c4. Knight g4 problem. Because rook f6, bishop e8 is possible, and then c3 is coming. But probably knight g4 is unpleasant. White has many threats. Yes, so black should be careful. So knight e3. Okay, bishop a4 was not necessary, maybe, but he played this. Bishop c6, totally normal. Okay, he played this. Rook f3. Okay, maybe after rook d2, he afraid b5. Okay. I am also just thinking, I am not using computer for my commentaries. But okay, rook d2, b5, not so clear, because rook f3. Black cannot take on c4 because queen a3 is coming. And then, so queen g5 maybe. Now if rook g3, black already can take. If queen a3, queen a5. So probably this idea. So rook f3 he starts. Queen d6, rook d2, but bishop c6. So rook f6, he is not afraid. Queen b8 after rook f3. Where queen b? Where queen b8? Here queen b8. Okay, maybe, but if rook f6, b takes c4. Queen g6, bishop e8. Okay, maybe c3 is coming. And if knight g4, f5 probably. Okay, maybe queen b8 is also possible. But maybe white can start with queen g6. And now knight g4 is real threat already. So probably queen b8 is not so strong, actually. Queen g6 is strong. If b takes c4, knight g4. It's hard to defend against many threats. Okay, but queen g6 is much stronger than c takes b5. Okay, c takes b5, just losing move. Rook c1 is coming. Okay, so queen b8 is bad move, but okay, it's not fact that Steinitz would play this in real games. Annotation is different. So queen g5 is a good option for black, in my opinion. Now black is fine because after rook g3, b takes c4 is possible. Also, stop. Rook g3, b takes c4, queen a3. Because if queen a5, queen e7. What is this, however? Rook d7 only move. Queen takes, king h8, and white has problem. Rook takes g7, king h8. And perpetual check. Perpetual check. Yes, white has perpetual check and nothing more than perpetual check. Yes, so rook g3. Okay, but black can play queen h5 probably. If rook h3, queen f7. This idea. If black wants to play for win. But okay, white still has some contraplay like this. This idea to take on f6. Also now queen e5 is possible. Yes, okay, so queen g5 was correct. But in the game he didn't play rook d2. He played rook f3. So this doesn't work. Looks like dangerous, but it's not enough. Because black is ready for rook e7. Yes, king can escape via d7, so I don't see what white can do even. I don't see any motive with perpetual checks. Okay, maybe rook e2 is possible, but objectively it's bad for white. But there is some practical chances. For example, if king d7, knight f5 is winning now for white. Suddenly. No, not winning because queen f8. Queen f8, queen takes e6, king c7, queen e5 check, b6. Complicated. But okay, after rook e2, probably black can do something else. Queen e7, for example. What is my opinion? Okay, difficult to say. I need to finish this match, to see all of games, and after analyze all of games, I will express my opinion. I think, okay, I have seen Steinitz Anderson match. I think it was level of modern grandmasters. But about Zuckertort, I'm not so familiar yet with his games, and I'm not ready to express my opinion. Okay, so objectively, probably it's bad for white, but some practical chances, for example, knight g4 is possible. So sometimes it's possible to create something in such kind of position, but especially if opponent is on time trouble. But there is no direct solution, so Zuckertort didn't take, so he played rook g3, and after f5, attack is stopped, and f4 is a real threat, so bad news for white. So if not give the rook, better was to play rook h3, avoid f5. Okay, f5 now it's possible, but there is no threat f4. So after f5, white can do something. After rook g3, f5, f4 is deadly threat, and white lost coordination of pieces. So bad situation for white, for Zuckertort. He played rook g6. It's like total panic because bishop e4, engage 7. c5, what else? Nothing else, because if rook g3, f4, c5, rook takes c5, queen f4. White piece is totally discoordinated. There is no real defense. For example, if queen e3, black can just take and bishop c2 wins the piece. So he played queen b2, and after now he resigned. So score is equal after this game, and game 10. Again Steinitz is white, again Berlin. But now bishop, now knight takes e5, bishop d3. Now instead of bishop f6, which was dubious, Zuckertort played c6. Another possible move is knight e8 here to prepare d6. Okay, c6 he played, b3. He played rook e8. Very logical is knight e8 here. But after c6, also queen e2 is possible to consider with same idea of bishop f6, rook e3. Now bishop takes h7 is threat, so black has no time for knight e8 because this is coming. So rook e8 probably is better, or after bishop f6, rook e3. Okay, g6 is possible, but after g6, b3 is unpleasant somehow. For example, this, and knight e4 is coming. Okay, probably nothing special, but some initiative. So queen e2 was interesting try. Also, bishop d4 doesn't work because this and this. But okay, he played b3, so probably queen e2 was strong. Okay, rook e, but if rook e8, okay, just b3. Maybe this is correct. Take with queen, maybe this is equality. But still white can try queen f3. Check is not dangerous because bishop f1, so bishop a3 or bishop b2 is coming. So queen e2 was interesting. But Steinitz played b3 and now rook e8 he played. Maybe knight e8 was even better to prepare. d5, bishop f6, knight d6, for example. If now this, rook e3, d5, bishop a3, knight d6. Okay, anyway, rook e4. Because d4, bishop takes d6 is possible. If queen takes d6, knight e4. So anyway, white has some initiative. So the most precise for black in this line is to play knight e8, I think. Is it? This is the best move. Immediately try to solve problem with knight. If knight d5, bishop d6, and then c6. So c6, b3, he played rook e8, bishop a3, bishop f8. And now still, so white can take on e8. With this. So white has two possibilities to take the pawn. Now it's obvious problem with his bishop. If queen e2, bishop e6, with the idea king g8. And this, bishop e6. Oh, here also knight f6 is possible. And this is not so clear. So, knight f6. And then b6. Of course, this bishop h7, g6. Again, something wrong with bishop. Of course, white can play something like this, simply, and rook e1 is active position. So knight takes e8 is the best choice for black, because if take with queen, white can play something like queen f3 with very active position. But Steinitz played rook e3, he wants to have structure rook s3, f takes e3, but now black utilized this trick. Bishop takes f8. Maybe other capture was reasonable. Again, knight e4 probably. Something like this. Probably slightly better position. Bishop h7, g6. And we'll see refutation. Okay, but necessary to check this. White has many pawns, but maybe anyway black is better after queen c8. Okay, so after takes, knight e4, knight c3. Wilhelm, yes. Queen g7. Game simplified. e4, strange move for endgame, but I don't think it's possible. Rook e8. Playable endgame, but they agreed to draw. Can be continued. c3, bishop c2, d4. Okay, so after game 10, score is equal. So thanks for your attention. Good night.